is my guest, and what a privilege it is for me to get to hear more about this summer that you have had. Two things I want us to get to for sure. One is you did what very few adults or young people that I know of is, and you climbed a huge mountain with your dad this summer, who your dad likes to mountain climb.
No, he loves it.
Yes, he does. He loves it. And y'all climbed your first big one?
That was my first one. That would be his third time climbing it.
His third time climbing, wasn't it Denali? Which one did y'all climb?
Rainier.
Rainier. Okay, but it's up there.
It's up there, but hopefully it's the first one of many more to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when your dad first contacted me about wanting to help be allowed to train at the stadium, and of course I was excited to let him, I realized he's been chipping away at this mountain climbing business for several years. Mm-hmm. And he has, those who know your daddy would expect he has a plan. And the ones where he has already climbed, he climbs some to get used to altitude, he climbs some for other reasons, and you just went for a big one right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, he's always wanted me to get into it with him because he needs somebody to share it with.
Yes.
We were training a lot in the stadium. I didn't think it was going to be that hard. I thought, I'm in shape, I could do it. The first day was hard, and then there's 4 more to come. I wish I trained a little harder, honestly.
So you went the month of June or July?
July.
And your dad knew what he was in for, mm-hmm. but you would do, if you go again, will you?
Absolutely.
Then you will know this is serious. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to breathe. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you what I asked your dad. Did he see beauty?
When you look up.
When you look up. Uh-huh. And what was the hardest thing? How high is the mountain?
15,000 feet.
15,000. Mm-hmm. That's really tall.
Yeah.
And you have people on your team that help you.
Correct. You have guides.
Guides. Mm-hmm. And so what was the most challenging thing about it?
Summit day, I would say. I mean, you wake up at 11 at night, and you start climbing about 12:30. And it's pitch black, but you're climbing at night, so it's cooler and the ice is harder, so it's safer in a way. You go up, and it's just pure black, and you just want to see where you're stepping, because you look at the side, you just see a straight cliff of ice, and you look down, you just see black. You can only see the lights of people around you. And it gets a little freaky since it's your first time, so you just step by step going up. If you fall, you just kind of...
Are you tethered to each other?
3 people are tethered out of 9.
Okay. Mm. Were you the least experienced in y'all's team?
Mm-hmm. I would say so.
So it's serious to be tethered to someone. You wouldn't want me to be tethered to you, Landon. That would be a liability on your part. So you're tethered and you're in the dark, except for a light. Is it on your hat?
I have a light on your hat, yeah.
Okay.
On your helmet.
So that would be the biggest challenge, is the darkness and the uncertainty for your first time?
And just having to keep going, because it took 8 hours to get to the top and then another 4 to get down. So
is it light when you get to the summit?
Mm-hmm.
So did you look around?
You're only up at the summit for maybe about 10 minutes. And you want to start getting down because, I mean, the longer you wait, the hotter it gets and the ice gets more mushy. I mean, you don't get back until 2 the next day, and you leave at 12 in the morning.
And so that's your last day climbing?
And then you camp at high camp one more time, then you have to climb down the next day.
Okay. Is going up harder or going down harder?
On the summit day, it's almost the same just because you're so much more tired on the way down, and the snow is so soft, you're just sinking every step 3 feet.
So then what was your grade? were you surprised in a positive way about any part of it?
How hard it was going to be.
How hard it was going to
Yeah.
be. Was that a positive surprise?
Kind of.
Well, okay. So what was the most memorable besides doing the dark on the ice?
Either climbing with my dad for the first time, hopefully more to come, and the sunrise on the way to the top was.
So that would be classified as beauty.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a tick mark for
Yeah.
that. So are you already looking down the road at where we want to go next?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
I think I'm going to go to Bolivia next, and there's some really nice mountains there. And after
Yes.
that, McKinley.
Wow. Now, remind me the other mountains your dad has climbed.
He's climbed the 2 volcanoes in Mexico.
Yep.
He's climbed McKinley, Rainier 3 times, and he's actually going to Aconcagua this February.
And where is that?
That's in South America. It's the tallest mountain on the Western Hemisphere.
Okay.
So.
Wow. Do you see your dad or you ever getting to Everest?
Everest, definitely possible. My dad doesn't like crowds.
Okay.
So Everest is a big crowd.
Yes.
So what we're looking at is like Choyu, Malaku, Kanchenjunga, those other mountains in Nepal that are just as high.
And over there, would you call them sister mountains to Everest in that same part of the world?
Definitely. From the top of Choyu, you can see Everest, and it's only less than 1,000 feet higher. So.
Okay. So, have you met other young men or women your age who have accomplished this?
No. No.
And you would be probably the youngest of your group that went up the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Well, as far as I know.
Okay. You, at the different stages, you camp. And I
Right.
saw your dad sent me some pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Was that, do you think about things like what if a blizzard blows in and we're here in this little bitty tent?
Well, we had the nicest weather you could have asked for. It was almost too nice, really. It could have been a little colder for
Not
us.
too bad windy?
It was hardly windy. It was really actually perfect. Actually, this is the first time my dad summited Rainier. Because in the past times, they would get maybe a couple 100 feet from the summit, but it'd be too windy.
Yes.
And they have to come down. But this time, blue skies, no wind. It was great. It was really hot. Never had to wear a jacket, really. A parka, just like a
Even
windbreaker.
at the summit?
At the summit, when you stopped and you weren't working, yeah, then you put one on. But as you're working, you just have a
That's hard to
windbreaker.
believe.
Mhm.
I believe you, but
And it's like, but it's 10 degrees, 20 degrees, and that's hot when you're moving.
okay, because you are really working.
Mm-hmm.
My stars. So, what kind of food do you eat when you're climbing?
The guides make just the best dinner, really, and breakfast is just something
It's
small.
not peanut butter sandwiches?
You have a breakfast, and then you just kind of snack all day at breaks just to replenish, calories you're burning.
And you would have to hydrate, I would guess.
Every stop, you drink about a quarter of a liter.
Okay. So, you think this you might pick up your dad's enjoyment to continue this down the road more than just maybe one more?
I hope so. Yeah, when I make
What
time.
about your siblings? Are they interested in this?
I don't think Taylor's gonna get into it now.
You don't think so at this point? Wow.
Not his area of.
Well,
what he
who
likes to
took
enjoy.
the pictures that I got to see? Your dad or you?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
Actually.
so it wouldn't be you.
It could have been both of us or the
Okay.
guys even.
Okay. Wow. Okay, I admire you more than I can tell you. My family has enjoyed what we call mountain climbing, and we have the sticks. We look official. We have the water backpacks, but it's the Colorado and the Canadian Rockies, and we don't go
And
very high.
That's where we all started. So I mean,
Well,
look at Rainier now.
As I said, I'm not sure anyone would choose me on their team. They probably would, some of my family, but not me. But I do so greatly appreciate someone who, because you don't just show up, you train. And like your dad knows, and for all the elements of it, it isn't enough just to train at San Angelo Stadium. Okay, that's got some would work on your muscles and stuff, but working on higher elevations and getting used to the lack of oxygen, I guess, is.
It's not as bad on Rainier as like Choi Yu. I mean,
Okay.
You don't have to have oxygen like on those 8,000 meter mountains, but it's still definitely thinner and you get tired faster. But
Okay, another incredible experience that I didn't know that you chose to participate in last summer and this summer is a military type academy out in California, but that's not what it really is. You tell us about it.
Sure. I went last year. I want to go in the military, and JROTC credits definitely look good on applications. I don't have time to do any of that here in San Angelo, so I found an accredited academy that would give me a JROTC credit. So I go there the first year.
In California?
In Carlsbad, California.
Okay.
Right by San Diego. It's
Okay.
practically on Camp Pendleton. And you kind of go and you just go through training for military. Then there's some class to get credits. And you try to do a whole year worth of JROTC in 4 weeks.
It's not counted as your basic, though, would it be?
No.
Okay. Okay, keep going. So you went a year ago,
Right.
and then this summer. What was the difference in the two summers?
There's a second level, Let 2. And so there's the returners from last year. We're doing Let 2, and then new kids, we're doing Let 1. I show up, and I'm given a position of first sergeant, where I'm in charge of every single kid on the camp, including my level and their level.
That's sounds good, but it's a big responsibility, isn't it? Being in charge of yourself sometimes is enough, but here you've got other young men and women?
Just men.
Your age.
They're anywhere from 14 to 17.
So you all are learning what?
Everything. There's days where you're just in class. There's class every morning, but then you have training at Camp Pendleton where it's from shooting, obstacle courses, air assault, leadership training, team training, just really anything to build a team.
And these young people were from all over the nation.
And the world, really.
And did you know some this year that were returnees?
Just a few. There's just actually 2.
So did you, I don't know if enjoy is the word, did you feel that it was a good experience to be one of the leaders?
Oh, absolutely. It goes by faster because, I mean, you're always having to work as a leader. You don't have any breaks. So if they're on their break, then you've got to go meet with instructors and kind of plan what's next for them. And I like it. It just gives me something to do and looks good.
I would think, just from what I know of you, Landon, you're not you would be the kind of leader that I would want to be my leader, and that is you're not a cocky, in your face. How did you adapt when some didn't make good choices?
Well, a lot of kids, some kids, not a lot this year, but don't want to be there. You know, maybe parents make them want to go, and they're just there. And it's not a fun environment if you don't want to be there. And so they're not going to be team players, and the company is only as strong as the weakest link, right? So whether it's in fitness or just they're just not going to participate or listen to anything, you can't just yell at them at a point. You just kind of have to get on their level and just talk to them and tell them, hey guys, you're here for 4 weeks with us. Might as well make the best of it. And just talk to them. You can't punish them.
So did most of them come around?
There's only a few that were individuals. And yeah, after 2 weeks, they were they understood kind of they're in it. They got to just.
Well, what a great learning experience, because that that group that you experienced is what I experience in my organizational leadership, or your dad in his organization. There are people who needs help in realizing that let's work together and make this as pleasant as we can.
Mm-hmm.
And some people come around and some don't, and you have to learn how to individualize. What I did in my conversations or choices with this one may not work with this young person.
Right.
So you're having to dig deep in your leadership reservoir of conversations, what to say and how to persuade.
I mean, if you can motivate them, give them purpose, direction, and lead by example, there's nothing that you can't accomplish.
Your goal, you'll be a senior at Central High,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that you're going to start school and take a heavy load of advanced placement courses. And you also have taken piano for years.
Mm-hmm. 13.
Will you continue that?
Can
you with your busy?
I haven't signed up for one more year,
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
I've done 13 years, and all I wanted to do was be able to pick up any music and just play it.
Yep.
And I can do that now, and I've been able to do that for many years, so I think at the senior year I can just focus more on school and applications.
Well, you're certainly not, from what I understand, taking an easy year, which some seniors think that that's what they need, want to do, is to make it easy, and you have not chosen that with all the AP courses you're going to take. And you also work at the Y,
Right.
so that's you're going to be juggling quite a bit. But tell us what your goal is after high school.
Naval Academy is my absolute top choice. I want to be a naval officer or a Marine officer and just
How did you decide that and that branch of the service?
Period, I just want to serve. So if I don't get in the Navy, I get into West Point, then I'm happy to go to West Point. But, you have to have a preference. So I want to be a Navy SEAL. Just go in the Navy and then start the training for that.
And what planted that seed for you?
They're the best, and I want to be the best.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So you are going to have already begun thinking about application processes and what you need to have. And
Almost finished them all, yeah.
Okay, and there's some great young people from our city that have already can give you, or have already, I'm sure, given you some words of advice.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Ms. Joanne Powell is the most knowledgeable.
A hero.
Yeah, you're here. Oh, I like that. She and Charlie Powell, to me, are just magnificent.
They're
I'm so
fantastic.
proud that that I know them, have been privileged to know them. So I want to go backwards just a little bit.
Sure.
You have had, due to your dad's jobs, some opportunities to live out of our country,
Mm-hmm.
and came here as a elementary age youngster.
Right.
And you have 3 citizenships, which I don't know anybody else that has 3. Tell us about that.
My dad's a Mexican citizen. My mom's an American citizen. And I was born in Colombia. So therefore, I got all 3 citizenships.
And you and I discussed that you might have to, when you're blessed to get into the military, to have to consolidate that down. I didn't know whether you could continue having all those citizenships.
I don't know the laws exactly, but I think what I understood is I will have to.
I bet someone will make it clear to you when you get there.
I think so.
I'm not worried. But what a unique, rich background you've had. Your dad's business, Multicam, has allowed your family the opportunity to live in?
Actually, it was Coca-Cola
Wow, okay.
before Multicam.
Okay, and I did remember that, but I forgot it. So we're blessed to have your family in the city. You have an older brother who finished Central and is at George Washington University in D.C. area, and his goal is to be
Diplomat ambassador.
And we could use folks like y'all to do that. Our world needs it, doesn't
He'll do a great job.
He'll do a great, I believe it. And you have a younger sibling?
Just me and Taylor.
Okay, okay. So we are so proud of you, and what a rich summer you had.
Thank you.
How are you different after those two experiences than you were in June of last June, a year ago?
I just feel that I know more what I want to do.
Okay.
And I can understand that there's just challenges out there that I need to be able to face.
What about the leadership that you learned this year at that camp?
I've never really I've led in some instances, but never, 45 kids for a whole month at a place.
Of your peers?
Of my peers, of a place where they don't really want to be. And that definitely kind of taught me on how to lead and, be a part of people.
And your mountain climbing, how has that made you think differently than before you did that?
Well, it's a new hobby, so I want to do more of it, so it's just something else that I can do.
And that isn't done one person at a time, is it?
No.
And you are incredibly dependent on others.
Absolutely, on your rope team. I mean, if you were to fall in a crevasse and you hope that they do their thing and anchor down, pull you out, or, you have to trust them or you can die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I think you're ready for your senior year.
Thank you.
I have no doubt about it. What an incredible young man. Okay. Naval Academy, here you come.
I hope so.
Okay, I think they need to understand what a great young man they would get with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Landon.
Appreciate it.